Hey, hello everyone. Again, you might remind me from the earlier runs of dying a lot on Vermintide 2. Different game that we're gonna die a lot on. Probably less, hopefully. So, let's just get going. I'm gonna go on the countdown for the timer. Let's go on 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so Dark Souls might be familiar with it. Might you guys have seen it before? It's running very smoothly, if you guys notice. Not because it's not a remaster, by the way. It's just the older version with DS Fix, which is the best version. So bow only. You already probably see the bombs on my inventory down there. So it's just almost bow only. It's a lot of bow, but it has other things too, like bombs. We are going to do, our main source of damage will be the bow, and we're not going to attack anything except with these bombs and the bow. Well, fists and kicks should be fine. This speeds up the beginning a lot, and by a lot I mean like nearly a minute and a half between this and killing inward in New London. So, why bow only? Because it's just super fun. This might be one of my favorite runs. Bows do not play at all like they do. Like melee works in the game, like sorcery works, pyromancy, lightning, anything. There's a bow, it's its own little world. So it is quite nice, quite a different way to play the game. So you guys saw me picking up the short sword and you're wondering, why are you picking up the short sword on a bow only run? There is a thing that Dark Souls has. When you are blocking, it prevents you from jumping. So that allows you to have a roll on command, which is extremely good for safety, for being ready to jump out of danger. And I'm gonna need now on New London since I don't have a bow. I mean, don't have a bow, don't have a shield. And also, we're gonna use it to block. We're gonna need to set up RTSR in a few parts. I will try to keep this as you run it normally. This quit out here is to avoid the dot animation. The game usually runs on IGT, so saving those like 4 or 5 seconds that you miss, that you save there, are important to the run, but there will be other quit outs that are for different reasons. Another thing that quit out that you do is reset enemy positions, so sometimes it might be just for safety, just to avoid danger, but every time you quit out you lose about 3 seconds, so you don't really quit out unless you really need to. With door animations and stuff like that, you do save time, but in the other cases there is a reason. I'm gonna let you guys know why. So first thing first, we're gonna go to New London. I don't think it's any run that ever goes here first. Oh, it's the wrong. And the reason is that we have to come here eventually anyway for the large chamber, because to do this you need at least the bow to be plus 11. Before that, you end up having to fight, for example, 4 kings. You lose way too much time. And in general, all the fights go faster. The bow doesn't have insane amount of damage, but it's not bad either. So you want as much as you can. And on this version, you can do a glitch that's called the quantity storage. So we're just gonna, I just need one chunk, one Titanite chart, one large Titanite chart. And oh, I didn't get the skip. There is a very nifty skip there. Oops! Don't kill me, please. There's a very nifty skip there, but it's very tricky, and it only saves 6 seconds anyway. The first thing we're gonna do is get the water down. For example, here we're gonna quit out to drop aggro, because I have about 17 ghosts chasing me, and I don't want them to kill me while I'm trying to kill inward. And this is where the bombs also enter in play. Need the bomb and an arrow to aggro him, then he will run like a dummy. He's taking his sweet time though to get there. And we're just gonna kill him. Get the key. Touch that ghost. And we're gonna get the best bow in the game. That's the reason to come to New Londo. Composite bow. A lot of people think that the farthest bow is the best one in the game. They are completely wrong. Composite bow is fast, the same speed as the short bow. That allows you to, well, fire faster. But also, the composite bow, since it scales off both strength and dexterity, also does the highest damage per arrow. Even if you are comparing a single arrow, composite bow still does more damage. So it is the best. I'm gonna take a bit of a different route than what you usually will get. This is about 7 seconds faster than going the normal route to the large ember, but you also get access to less souls. So that was a problem back in the day. This route has gone through a lot of changes. The guys at the Speed Souls keep finding new stuff to do, so that means we need to keep updating this. But nowadays we can manage to get we need about 11,000 souls by the time we reach Andre, and we should be just fine. That, oh yeah, that part is a bit scary. You cannot lose a single second there, or she's gonna kill you while you're picking that up, or you're gonna get caught by this dark race here. But besides that, we're fine. We're picking up this. That dark red is gonna, there, I needed to attack. Picking this up, and the one chunk we need here. Now here, we're gonna quit out to reset the aggro, because if not, it gets too messy. So we have our chunk, we have our ember. We're not gonna use them for a while though. This is just because we need our CSR, the ring anyway, so might as well just pick it up at the same time. This break over there is a real problem, so getting rid of it, I mean getting it closer to you, it's extremely helpful. There is another way to lure him into doing a certain attack so you don't die, but it's still not 100% safer, and it only saves, like, I think it's less than a second, so no point. This, on the other hand, is, oh my god, thank you, Drakes. It's a lot safer, I was going to say. Not gonna say it now. That's gonna cost me a bit of time, because I do need those souls. If I probably die way too fast after dropping from the tower, so I'm gonna need to go up the tower again, pick up the bloodstain, and then jump down again, which is a bit obnoxious, but well, what can you do about it? In the meantime, I'm gonna do this. Normally I will try to do this on the other elevator. I'm gonna try to do it now. I didn't get it. That's fine. Alright, I don't have the keys, so I have to go the same way I came the first time. I cannot do bench skip, I got a new controller and it just feels really weird. The left analog stick feels really weird, so no. I'm probably gonna mess up something else along the way. Well, that was... I don't know if I could have done something there. Maybe just going to the left first, but yeah, I don't know. That doesn't happen very often, that you have the lightning attack being so wide and covering the entire bridge. But, well, happens. Marathon luck. Just going through. So let's see. I should try to be full health here, just for the drop. I need to call this thing again. Yeah, my bloodstain is nowhere to be seen, so it has to be up. Wouldn't it be funny if it happens again? Wouldn't it be funny? So the thing is, like, now I just hold to the left and the lightning is gonna hit the structure behind, and then you don't get hit. The other way that you used to do it, I used to do it before, was like running with the Drake in the middle. You have to get close to it on a certain way. You have to like walk in sideways so it doesn't attack, like a long range attack instead of a close range attack, and then you can close the bridge. But it also has a bunch of danger, you can still get killed by the Drakes behind. It's a mess. But we're fine now. So I'm missing souls now because I need to get near to 11,000. That's why I was trying to frame dupe the soul. If you use the soul on the last frame, it's showing on the quick bar on the bottom left. You get to use it again. Because I missed that, I need to kill this Black Knight. Can you let me? Thank you. If you could hurry up. Oh. Oh, There he goes. And I'm gonna have almost 11,000 souls, and that's more than enough. Why the soul count? You need 8,200 just to get the bow to +5, and then I need large arrows. A lot of large arrows. Not that many, because I'm just gonna kill about 3 bosses before I get access to buy more arrows. But I still need at least 45 in case I've missed a few shots. And in case I have to redo some fights. The 2 really terrible fights on this are Orson Smog and Capra. And they are both right after each other. And right after Iron Golem. So yeah. Those are the only true terrible parts of the run. There is no way to make that fight better unless you spend time going to Capra first and getting a +10 bow. And even then it's still terrible. And this is why I have so much time, so much trouble convincing people to run bow only. Because they see Orsoner's bow and it's like, oh yeah, that looks fun. Yeah, I'll let you know when I do bow only. First things first, get this to +5. +54 arrows plus the 16 that the... no, it's, yeah, 16 that the bow comes with, and it should be enough. So now we're gonna go for Sense Gate skip, going straight to Sense Fortress without needing to ring any silly bells. Oh, I hit it. No, I hit it fine. Hit the hollow. That saves just a few seconds. Parry him here. What we're doing with this, when you parry, your character is actually suspended in the air and has no collision, so you can just clip into things. You clip onto the bridge there, and what happens is that there is a volume that's called a death cam volume, which is the one that puts the camera like this. And under that there is a kill box. So if you do it at a certain spot, you clip into the death cam, the game stops loading everything around you, and then the Sense Fortress gate will not be there. No, I parry with the shield. I wish you could do parry and repose with the bow though. Like, why can't you do that? It's like, I want to, like, I don't know, pick up an arrow and stab them in the neck or something like that. But you cannot block, you cannot parry, you cannot repose with the bow, which is why shields are kind of important for this. And that's why the sword as well, we're gonna be used later again. Just moves. Sense Fortress is absolutely reliable. The cycles are always the same. The cycle depends on the last time you quit out or you came back into the game. So there's no random stuff here, except sometimes the attack patterns of the enemies, because they delay their attacks a tiny bit, but it's just straight running through. There's no science here. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's a steel going on. We put the red Tearstone ring. And then we're gonna have another quit out. This quit out is for two things. There's a boulder that's gonna go and smash your head in, so you delay the... You make the trap have to reset. You can just go through. Also, the spot that you stop at determines the cycle of the blade, so now it's just gonna be the blades are gonna be just opening for me. Then you punch this guy out of the way, keep running, and the blade should also be just opening for me. It looks all like very, very orchestrated. You get hit the arrow trap, so you get RTSR set up. It's the fastest way to get it with this amount of health. At the moment my character is very, very weak. I haven't leveled up once yet. This is still the base level character. So most of my damage comes now from the bobbing +5, from using the large arrows, which are like the ones that do the heaviest physical damage, and from RTSR. RTSR is the source of all the goodness. If it wasn't for RTSR being decent, unlike the other Souls games, this run will be absolutely painful to do. Now this guy, punch him out of the way. Now our damage is still pretty slow, but this fight is quite reliable. You can still mess it up though, but it is pretty reliable, even though it needs a lot of hits. We're gonna get one arrow there. Really good attack. So now he's just gonna stagger. 4 arrows after. I'm gonna miss the cycle on the bomb, sadly. But that's pretty much it. And now we're going into another Londo. I don't have... I mean, 40,000 souls is a lot, but not really. So I'm gonna be able to get some levels, but not max out. But even then, the bow scaling stays C and C through the entire run, but the one that you get when it's maxed out is not the same as the one that you get now with +5. So the damage is gonna be low. Pretty low. The problem with ONS is not really your damage, is the fact that Ornstein can and will dodge all range attacks. So it is quite terrible to get damage going. It's a slow fight. Oops. Bad angle, my bad. So I will do something that I don't do normally, which is take the safety bonfire on ONS. Need to be full health here in case the painting guardians decide to put knives on my butt. And okay, they didn't do it. You can survive 2 if you're full health. You're missing 10% and that's enough to get you killed. Okay, this part feels really bad with the new controller. Holy crap, scary. Okay. That drops the chandelier because we're gonna use Grey Magic Weapon via Tumble buff. Normally you cannot buff a bow, but by doing inventory shenanigans, you can do it, and that's gonna allow me to get... Oh, come on. Just gonna quit out again so I can get through. Well, I'm the only one that runs this, so yes, it is worth recording. I can still PV, even with that death at the beginning. The other thing is like this one has like an insanely low amount of menuing. I don't really need anything. I already have everything I need, so it's pretty comfy on the whole inventory management part. That's one positive. So it just kind of balances out. It's like terrible honest, lazy inventory management. It just kind of evens out. So all we can get now, 27 strength, which maxes out our two-handing. Scaling, since two-handing a bow, you always have to two-hand them, and you get 50% of your strength as a bonus when you two-hand a weapon. So it's the same as having 40. After 40, there is a very steep scaling soft cap, so no much point to get over that, even though I will do that later just because I can. So that's not going to increase my damage all that much. RTSR is going to do all the heavy lifting. We get on this railing here, we quit out here. What this does is that elevator does not save its position until the animation fully stops. So if you do that, the elevator is down, and later on when I go to fight Priscilla, I don't have to wait for the elevator to come down. It saves, I think, about 8 seconds on real time, and at about 12 or something like that IGT, so it is pretty good. It also looks pretty fancy. So now I just have to worry about these white demons throwing lightning spears. You can survive them though, but it's still annoying. So you can use the audio cue to pay attention to that. And what you do is basically hug one side. Here, when you hear the cue, just immediately switch to the opposite side, and you're good to go. Now I have no way to kill this guy, so I need him to do that. Very nice. Very nice of him. Sometimes he's not so nice. So this is what I usually don't do. I don't mark this bonfire. But for marathon safety, I'm gonna do it now. This costs you about 14 seconds, so it's also not the end of the world. Dying costs you a lot more. But in case something happens, because honest fight is not just terrible because Ornstein can and will dodge most range attacks, it's also a problem because you need to lock on to attack Ornstein. He's just too fit, he's too thin, so you cannot really free aim the bow, and that means that you're gonna lose peripheral vision, and Smoke's gonna still be trying to kill you. So yeah. So now we got RTSR. Be careful with that. And now the best fight in there starts. You'll see what I'm talking about. Okay, didn't get the opening I wanted. We can get a free headshot. He's gonna not dodge that. Okay, nice. Thank you. That usually is a dodge. Just like it was like zero fate. Ah, there we start. So we want to keep Ornstein busy doing something else, and with Ornstein, if we can, don't attack. I have to quickly attack again before he finishes the attack, so he cannot dodge. Okay, this is going way better than usual. That's the best attack I can get, because that one is slow enough that even if I have this one too. Oh, that's even better. Okay, what the hell? This is so nice. Oh, he's not dodging now! Oh, this is just Christmas! What the hell? This is so nice! Okay, he dodged that one. Careful with that one, I can't retaliate on that one. The other things like bow attacks are very slow. This was so nice. Oh, miss that. So this is just a time waster. This is the same thing that the magic routes do. You use a pillar, just taking his time, so he was just doing it. You use a pillar, shoot him from behind, but the bow is a lot faster than spells, so you can just take it. Attack a lot faster than arrow. What the hell? How did I miss that? And you can also hit him on the shoulder if you can get the right angle. No, it's not on the center. The problem is also is your vision here. It's offset. Sometimes it's a bit tricky to know how center you are. or if you're center at all. Finally the stagger. And he said that was a really... Why I don't get this every day? Oh, oops, almost missed the elevator. So for example here you do normally the things like the game loads so fast that it's still fast in RTA. But this is purely to save time and opening the door. It doesn't have any other function than that. You come here, so you trigger the cutscene. Jump away. Down to Firelink Shrine. We're gonna level up here. Just because we need intelligence. So Griggs sold us fall control, which we're gonna use for skips. I do absolutely need it. I cannot complete the run without it. I cannot advance really. And we're gonna go for the second worst fight on bow only in the entire run, which is Capra. Why is it so bad? The major problem with the bow, as I was saying before, is your attack speed. You have a whole sequence of like readying the bow, throwing the arrow, shooting, releasing the thing, and then you can move again. So when you're starting to shoot before the arrow is fully drawn, you're fine. But after that, you're committing to the rest of the animation. And dogs attack like 3 times faster than I can attack easily. And there is not much space to do anything. Oh, I missed the jump. My bad. I'm just gonna quit out here. The last quit out that I did for the bomb is to avoid the stomp on the Drake, and also these hollows are chasing you, so you don't want that. And now we're gonna go and save Griggs. Gonna heal here just for safety. Gonna kill this dog just because he's annoying. Usually you try to dodge him and he bites you anyway. Cheater. Oh, okay, going through the world. Yeah, that's fine. Totally not a 60 FPS bug. That happens in the game normally. Quitting out here again to get rid of the dogs behind. There's a lot of those because the enemies are not very nice with you. Now you could do this without quitting out, but it's just absolutely unreliable. Same here, I can make it to Capra, but there's 2 dogs that are gonna rush me after this, and they might block me in a way that I just get surrounded and I can do absolutely anything. And I really like to go full health in case the worst happens. Okay. So this all depends on what Capra does and the first dog does. Okay, the dog is coming immediately. Oh, that was so nice. Thank you. That's like one of the 2 openings that you need. After this, it's just we're good to go. Capra does have a headshot hitbox, which is another of the things. Oh, come on! What? That feint! Holy crap! Outplayed. Okay, I don't know why the arrow went under his armpit. He has a headshot hitbox, which is not letting me show it off. There he goes. Extra damage, and he... What? He gets staggered as well. And the quit out is just to avoid all the things that are waiting for me at the fuck gate. Because they do want to get me killed. So yeah, like if the dog, for example, the first dog waits for too long, then you're having to deal with Capra. And then the dog attacks you at the same time. If you have both dogs at the same time, they rush you out the stairs, they attack before you can attack. It's just a whole mess. So that was pretty nice. Now we need the Ember, so we can finally upgrade the bow. Now the RTSR setup for Gaping Dragon is by no means reliable. Ideally that dog will have bit me there, so it takes more damage. But it didn't, We can just compensate that below. The dog's gonna hit me now. We're gonna use a slime that's below just to help a bit, and this is where the sword also enters in play. We're just gonna get smacked here a bit. There's other ways to do it, like there's a slime that can fall on you, there's giant rats, but the giant rats attack very fast, so just rather not. That should get me up to the start, didn't even need to block. And we're gonna get rid of this rat because it's gonna block the way. And we're gonna get the things that are necessary for our advanced techniques after this. So I can get more souls, and can get more materials, and I can upgrade this. Now we need to, since our damage is pretty low, we need to get rid of the channeler. On the older route you will come here also with a +5 bow, but you will have like a lot higher stats, so you will not need to kill it. You will kill the Gaping Dragon faster than the channeler could do a damn thing, but this is a lot slower. But since I will have to go in the open, it's better that the channeler stays dead. Now you want to get out of here, because storm attacks can be quite dangerous on that corner. Okay, let's fight. And that's the fight. Nothing too fancy. Okay, so now we're going for Taurus Seamoon, and we're gonna get fall control along the way. I was slightly too far and the dialogue closed, and now he's gonna tell me his life story, which I don't care about. Oh my god. Okay, there it goes. So now we want to get RTSR 4. Okay, I needed that bomb. Thank you, hello. I can get another one. We need to get a bit of damage for the RTSR to tap for Taurus Demon. This guy is gonna help. Is this guy gonna jump? Nope. There we go, just get smacked around a bit. Oh, this is bad. Okay. The black deck can sometimes kill you through buildings. That guy didn't die though, what the hell? He always dies at 6 FPS, what is this? Okay, now, Taurus Demon, there's two ways to fight it. It all's gonna depend on where these guys are standing on. They are... Yeah, I cannot kill them, so I'm gonna have to fight him the old way, which is the one I don't like. This is slower, and it's also more dangerous, because you are in range of the Stompy Stomps, and Stompy Stomps kill you, because I'm on RTSR range. And also I'm getting showered by the bolts from the other guys. Okay, he's dead. And now we're going for... We're going to put fall control there. And we're going for the parish. For the gargoyles. Why do we have to run the gargoyles? Because we need access to Frampt to get the item dupes and souls, so I can finish the build and then just run through the bosses. We need to ring the bells. It was kind of funny because on the old route you will kill gargoyles before win. I always like doing stuff like that. Not anymore. The bell. I need a bit of damage because now when you level up you also increase your resistances and your physical resistances. So you need that damage. So this is enough to put you in RTSR. Without that extra damage, that doesn't really work. The sword was in case I ended up having to block attacks, which I didn't. But that's why I equipped the sword, just in case. So equipping a few things, having them ready for later. And this is a pretty... no, it still can get messy. It all depends on the gargoyle though. They have a lot of attacks. Okay, that's a good one. Damage is okay hand. Just stay outside of the range of the fire. We're good to go. And that was gargoyles. See, we don't have Orster and Smoke level of fights anymore. This is still a +5. We don't need that soul. And now we're going for Quillag. And the reason I need Fall Control is because I didn't start with the Master Key. The only way I can make it to Blighttown quickly is using the Blighttown skip, the old one. There is a new version which is super fancy, which I haven't even looked into yet. But it also makes it harder for you to get RTSR, which I do need.
Well, what have we here?
That's not what I wanted to do. I'm not supposed to attack with the sword. So we need damage. Damage. We need to get smacked around a bit. No one saw that. I think I just dropped a few frames there, I'm pretty sure. So this is a bit... Actually, this is a bit close to the limit. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm almost outside of it. Okay, there we go. That should be enough. So we're going back here. We're gonna take a bit more damage, full damage, to get our TSR before the drop. If you guys notice, I increased my brightness. There is several ways, because the Blighttown drop, it's the Blighttown skip. You take a giant drop from this area into the darkness below, and you don't have much in the way of reference points to know when to quit out. I will have there's a way that people use that you see your character hands kind of like vibrating rapidly, and then they know when to quit out. That sadly doesn't work for me. Maybe because DS fix, who knows? But what I use is, I don't know if the stream is gonna get captured, but you're gonna see some blue lines going diagonally from bottom right to top left, and I use those lines where the last one goes over the shield. That's my cue to quit out. I might mess this up. I must mess this up. No, I'm not going to do it at 60 FPS though. Every time I'm doing jumps and anything remotely like that, I'm switching to 30 FPS. That doesn't remove all the effects of the FPS unlocker, but it does make like jumps and things more reliable, things of that nature. Oh, just the jump. I'm gonna blame the controller on that one. Missed the jump, that was my fault. I'm supposed to not need to quit out here, but the last time I didn't quit out, it actually didn't work, so I'm just gonna quit out anyway for safety. What this does, it's load Quillag's domain, which is right below. Because if not, if you come straight up here, it just doesn't get loaded. Oh, no, what the hell. I jumped too early and I landed on the bridge, and now I'm gonna have a permanent fall. Or not, nice! I quit out early enough. Woof! That was pretty bad, but not as bad as it could have been. You're supposed to go through the roof and quit out at the same time that you're hitting the ground. And it's tricky to do because you cannot keep the menu open, because area area messages, like the one that says Quilax domain, close your menu. So you have to do it like that. You have to open the quit out menu after the message goes, but before you die. Yeah, I almost messed it up. Whew. Now we're gonna go back and have decent looking brightness again instead of getting this all blown up. And we go for Quilag, and Quilag is a pretty simple fight because she has no poison on her torso. That means you can stagger her to death. The only thing you need to do is wait until she's not staggered anymore. So you have to delay your attacks a tiny bit, because something that's staggered cannot be staggered again. So if I just spam my attacks, she will attack and kill me. So just delay a bit, and this is a rule for in general in the game. If something's staggered, it will not get staggered again. You need to wait until, because only when their animation ends, they start regaining poise, and they need to have poise to be able to be staggered. And now we go down. Whee! I said go down. There we go. Go here. This guy needs to get out of the way. Sorry. The maggots are scary, so we're gonna quit out. Also, that makes them despawn. We mark this bonfire. This is gonna be good for later. And onwards we go. And now they come the advanced techniques. So we're gonna put some things on the bottomless box, all the things that need to be duplicated. And these were the 1,000 arrows that I used before enter in place. What we're gonna do is use the number of the other items, the wooden arrows in this case, and use that number to interact with Frampt. And since he's the only one that sells stuff, he's gonna use that number for the transactions instead of the ones that I actually have. So we just drop things. We don't need to drop it, just throw it on the menu. Try to do an item, talk to him, and we just sold 1,000 Quilax souls. So my soul count went... Oh, oops, messed it up there. My soul count went up a bit. And I have 99 chunks now. Don't talk to me. So we have all the materials we need, all the souls we need. Now we level up. Like there's no tomorrow. Where is this? Where's the mouse? I actually can't see the mouse. There it goes. This is 12, 14, 23, 66, which is absolutely maximum I can get in strength. 69 dex. 50 intelligence, which is gonna come in play later. And there we go. And we're basically done with the build. So now we can upgrade. Give the large chamber. Get this to +5. I mean +10. We're staying at a certain range in which you can just get out of his dialogue. Saves a bit of time. Get this to +14. Cannot get any more for now. Press Smith box and all the arrows I could possibly need. And out of here. No, it's 69 only because I cannot get any more. It's not because the number for something. I don't know. My innocent heart cannot tell. I know it's a dirty thing. So now we're gonna do actual damage. Nothing to do here. I'm gonna check if I got... Okay, I didn't get the gargoyle helmet. Actually helps with one fight with Sif. You need about something like 3 or 4 poise You know how Sif lands on you and staggers you a bit? You need like 4 or 5 points to survive that. And if you do that, you can attack him while he's landing on you, and that does bonus damage, and, well, you just kill him faster, which is pretty good. Okay, just need to get past these clowns. And we're gonna get RTSR set up in the easiest possible way, which is getting fall damage. And then you get fall damage again. Also clears the aggro from the... Oh, why did I roll? This is the best attack I could possibly get. This guy has insane physical resistance, so even with the thing all maxed out, the damage is not all out there. Incredible or amazing, but that's how the demons are. All that fat, all that thickness does help when you need it. We're gonna get there. At this point, going from plus 14 to plus 15 doesn't help all that much, and it will not be noticeable in most of the fights. But on 4 kings, I have a very, very slim chance of getting 2 kings instead. And for that, I will need plus 15. I need all the damage I can get. Now we're going for Gwendolyn and Priscilla, mostly because this way I have access to the Anor Londo bonfire. I never really touched that bonfire. And once you finish the painted world, you get sent immediately to Anor Londo, to the main Anor Londo, or the entrance Anor Londo bonfire. The good thing about the bow is that for this fight, I don't necessarily need RTSR. I will get it if he does the giant attack, like this magic attack, not that one, the other one. If he doesn't, we're just gonna go through the fight with RTSR. Without RTSR, okay. And you're gonna see why it's not so necessary. Unless I mess it up, of course. I need that attack, but I need him to do it when I'm over here, so nice. I can just get close enough. He staggers on the head. And Amber Juice, serious. And let's see if I can get the shot from here. No. Oh, oops. Dang it. I should have just timed this stagger. That's the thing that happens that I was talking about before. I took too long to stagger him. Can you stop that? This is my punishment. Oh my god! I just want to shoot you once. And now I cannot attack him here because he will kill me. Whatever. Bad fight. Okay, going for Priscilla now. And this is what I was talking about before. We send the elevator down. Don't have to wait for anything here. Just run. So here we're gonna get the Great Magic Weapon that got sent down by that Painting Guardian that threw himself at the beginning of the run. And we're gonna use that for tumble buffing. Now, tumble buff with 50 intelligence and with the Sorcerer Catalyst does add quite a bit of damage. But the thing is that most of the time you are not gonna save time by using the tumble buff because it takes like 4 or 5 seconds to do it. So yeah, you save shots on bosses, but you wasted so much time using tumble buff that you wasted it again, and they end up being slower. So it's only used on a handful of fights in which the having less shots does make a difference. We're gonna hopefully get hit by one of them, not both. Dang it. Whoopsie. That was my fault. Good. At least you get when you enter the painting world. When you enter the painting, that's what your warping point gets set at. So just respawn there. That was my fault. Bad pathing, because I should have been getting on the way to the ladder. I mean the ladder stairs. Here. That's where it should have been. But I missed the stairs. Okay, they didn't do anything, so we're fine. And we don't need to do anything in the painted work because we just drop down on the side of the bridge on the way to Priscilla. Don't have to activate any switches or anything. Just get in here. And then these hollows are gonna help with getting me RTSR. The one running attack here should be enough. You can make this whole thing without killing them and just keep running, but they are not very reliable in the frequency they shoot at. So when you need one arrow to get RTSR, this is much more doable. With two, they kind of are not very consistent. So I'd rather just kill them. It doesn't waste that much time.
I expect
Alright, you cannot attack a second time.
why does the hurry toward dying dead?
Is behind me somewhere. There is a floating arrow. Very hard fight on Priscilla. Yeah, this is all bosses. Okay, so now Butterfly, it's the first fight where we're gonna use the tumble buff. Saves you, I think, 2 shots in this case. Most bosses percentage. So the whole point of having doing Priscilla and Windolin is so after Priscilla you get sent to an Orlando, you mark the Orlando bonfire. Not picking it up at the beginning saves you about 18 seconds. It's just like tiny time saves that get added up. And now you do the whole Dark Road section, and then you will do Seath, and then from here you can run to the DLC, and that saves about 45 seconds if I recall, of just pure running. If you had to go to the DLC from the other side, then the price is the slowest. So now we have the spell since a while ago. We're gonna equip it now. Tune it. So how tumble buff works, you queue up the buff on a weapon that can be buffed. So that's why I'm gonna put the short sword now on this slot. And you queue it up while you're doing, after the roll that you get after a jump. And while the weapon is getting buffed, but just before it gets applied, you switch the weapon for the bow, and then you get the bow with a buff. It's all very intended. I think it's in the manual. Yeah, it shows up in the manual. It's like on the advanced section. It's kind of weird though, because it's not quick. You don't really do it fast, and if you do it too fast, you messed it up. Oh, I still okay. That was silly. Oh, don't do that. That was my fault. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, totally intended. The tumble buff. We're also gonna do totally intended plunges. So here I just need a bit of damage to help me with the RTSR setup for the Hydra. Basically I need to block or parry one attack. These guys can help. Thank you. That's all I needed. Oh, come on! Just die! Thank you. So nice of you. Oh, bad path in there. Got slow walk. Now we get the golden golem. So this way triggers being able to get the pendant on the DLC. I love when he just dodges the freaking thing. And now we go for Sif. So this is where the sword is actually really important, because I need to get hit, but I need to be able to survive as well, so I can get RTSR for Sif. If I do this with the bow, I end up just parrying, or if I do the block, I just receive no damage. And if I try to do it with the broken sword, it's also the same it just kills you if he does a heavy attack. So for Sif, there is a thing that it's not done usually on runs, which is quit out at the door. A lot of Dark Souls bosses, if you quit out really close to their fog gate, they get absolutely messed up. Their AI just breaks for a few seconds and then just starts normal. And you don't want that because it makes them inconsistent and a bunch of things. So in the case of Sif, what he does, he looks at the door even though you are not there, and then turns around. But on both bow only, on miracles only runs, that's actually beneficial because that means you get free attacks. And you also avoid the door opening animation, so you end up saving a few more seconds there as well. But then one free attack. The second one sometimes gets dodged. Yeah, just like that. Thank you for the demonstration. Okay, yeah. I'm not doing anything, Sif. Thank you. Stay still. You're just making it worse for yourself. I have to be careful because if I do start attacking too early, he's just gonna catch me at the end of my swing, of the shot. Oh, you're still alive. And we go to another window. Setting up this sword again, because we will do tumble buff here. What do you mean, Popper? He deserves to die. You're doing nothing wrong. Just desecrating the bones of his master. I mean, what's the big deal? He's dead. I mean, there's nothing left. It was like 1,000 years ago. Okay, so here I'm gonna use the tumble buff mostly to kill the hollows. The crystal hollows are very scary, especially when you're so slow with the bow. And the way to kill the crystal hollow is also very unorthodox. I mean, the crystal golem. Since if you went there on melee range, like you will do on any other run, it will take you ages, because you will have to like fight everything. This doesn't even guarantee that I can one-shot the hollows though. It's like if I find them counter-attacking, then I will get a one-shot. But only then. And this one didn't work. Oh yeah, I really love the whole trying to smack your face in. Okay, so that's what I was hoping for. Oh, come on, don't do that. Don't do that. Hello? No, don't, the shield are the war. Come on, just drop the shield, thank you. And then we hide behind the pillar and just shoot the damn thing. Okay, that's dangerous. That guy can one-shot you without attack if you're running. So now we're gonna cut our health in half with this, which we will need for the RTSR setup. Punch this guy out of the way. If you land straight up on the rail, he actually moves out of the way, and you don't need to do the whole punching bit. But did not happen this time. I use this. Saves only a handful of seconds. That was weird. And we are almost about to get our TSR. The drop here should do it. There we go. Now just run low. For Sith, doing double buff makes no sense. You do get more damage, but he has a lot of magic resistance. And the time that you use getting the buff, you just wasted. Like, I mean, using the buff, you waste the time that you gain by shooting less. Now you drop here, and this saves about 16 seconds or something like that. That is a lot. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not the word I want to use, but it's a lot trickier than it might look because there is a kill box right next to the spot where I dropped. So if you do it in the wrong way, if you slide wrong, you just get killed. But it's absolutely reliable. If you mess it up, it is your fault. Unless it's not, which is when you mess it up and you don't want to admit it's your fault, so you say it's not your fault, and then it's not your fault. But that's fine. Yeah, I think that's how it goes. And we go, break the thing. Wait a bit, because he's not actually vulnerable immediately. So if you end up shooting earlier, he heals back the shot. So you just like wait like second and a half, something like that, until the animation's done. And this just fill him with arrows. And he's being annoying. I'd like it more when he doesn't attack. We're gonna put the ring, which is preparation for what's coming next. We're slow with this. Now, before when I did this jump to get up to TSR, I needed to get a bit of damage. What this ring does is basically the same, since your drops are percentage based. By cutting my health in half, now my full damage will be based on that amount of health. Then I'm gonna remove the ring and I should have RTSR. Now that drop earlier is finicky. You go a bit to the left or a bit to the right and you're gonna bounce off the crystal in a weird way. And that's gonna push you into the what's it called? Into the kill box, and it's really annoying because you do lose an extreme amount of time if you die at sea, because you get sent back all the way here to Dagwood. Oh, oops! I'm having bad pathing here. There's a few places that even when you're starting, even when you're like learning, you die there and you basically reset because you're just losing like 5-6 minutes just running. And it's way too long of a time, just demoralizing. It's way too long of a time to realize that what you did wrong and just like think about it the entire time you go there. You just reset there. Now we get rid of this ring, and it should be an RTSR range. Yeah. We run to the left, hoping that he runs straight at us. Nope. Lightning. More lightning. We're gonna break the tail, so we get a bit of extra damage. Just one more hit, but we cannot risk it because he attacks faster than we do. So just have to take it easy for a few seconds and then just finish him off. The whole he attacks faster than we do, it just kind of like applies to every single enemy in the game. Especially on the DLC.
Thank you.
Here we get Hidden Body, which is gonna be helpful on the DLC. It's not required, you can just do it without a Hidden Body. But I absolutely need it for Nito, so that's the main reason to get Hidden Body. Because I'm rooting place on the Nito fight, I cannot deal with the skeletons. Making a Divine Bow or anything like that will take way too long. I could not do the fight with RTSR. So Hidden Body, it's very important for the Nito fight. We quit out here, so those two gardeners that are over there don't get aggro. They have very wonky hit attacks and hitboxes. So even though you can make it through here, there is a path that you can take to avoid them. Is still just like the quit out just doesn't lose almost any time. It's just not worth risking it for. And here we're gonna do another plunge, so we get the skip. All right, 30 FPS. Almost forgot. Drop here, get pushed to the side, keep going. Up to this guy, we just need to buy two things. Just need a few bombs. Yeah. I only need 2 bombs and 1 Lloyd talisman, but I just buy a lot. I don't. There was a reason why I buy more than I need. I cannot remember what the reason was. But it was probably a good one. But here we try to get an opening shot. With Artorias, the whole waiting your turn, it's extremely important. You just cannot beat him to anything. So you have to wait until he does certain attacks, and then you go ham on him. He didn't buff, so this is gonna be slightly longer. This is weird though, usually he does immediately. That is fine, he's going for the buff now. So you, only by the low count, you notice that I got a headshot there, and I'm gonna get another. Effortless, you don't really do anything, it just always happens. Oh, he didn't do the follow-up. Oh, come on! Okay. This is another that if you do die to Artorias, it's about 3.5 minutes to get back here. So you don't want to die to Artorias. We set the last spell now. And we're gonna trigger Calamite right away. Yeah, it does happen a lot with the bow. You do get a lot of variable damage. The arrows do count as thrusting weapons, so they do counter hits, which means that if you hit someone when they are in the middle of the attack or for an animation, they do extra damage. But that means your damage is not absolutely consistent through a fight. And then you get those like barely alive situations. To dodge some doggos. No, don't do that. I want to kill this thing because there is sometimes you die to that crystal lizard later. Oh, what are you doing though? We wait for Calamite to go past the mountain, which is when the quest advances. And down we go. Now we're gonna wait a bit to use hidden body, because for some reason the point at which you use hidden body ends up affecting the position that the enemy that's gonna be right in front of me when hidden body runs out. The position is different depending on where you use hidden body. He is so far away, but he basically eyes as soon as you... He's aware of you as soon as you spawn on the elevator. Which is silly, because this is very far away. So now he's close to that. Instead of being right in front of me, which will be the other situation. No, what are you doing? I don't like that. Because the problem is that that wastes time and the clock is running on the duration of hidden body. It should be fine though. I mess up the roll. The hidden body does not make you invisible. Like, if you can... Okay, that's scary! I died! Ah, that was my fault! I panicked! I rolled too early. They were both attacking at very close timing, so I thought I needed to roll early to avoid the other one. But that's fine, I already got the crest key, so this is not a huge time loss. So hidden body does not make you fully invisible, it just makes it so enemies see you later, so they take longer time to actually aggro and start attacking you. Oh, I don't think that worked. Or did it? Yeah, it didn't. Your torso needs to fall outside of the platform. Because platforms are mobile areas and they do not save your last stable position. Now that's gonna work. I don't know why I pick up the souls, but I don't need them. So the later aggro makes it that they do different attacks. For example, they do without melee range ones. And that's a lot safer to cross. Yeah, I need to put this ring on. So I don't know how Minus is gonna go, but when it goes well on this run, it's pretty funny. Because it's it has its own unique flavor for bow only. So the hidden body is mostly for that sorcerer over there. She doesn't attack you while you're running this through this. You can still roll the attacks and everything, but it's just a lot comfier. So now RTSR is set. Just need to remove the ring. So Manus does have a headshot hitbox. Oh, I missed that last one. And that's Manus with bow. Sometimes, the thing is, like, when he gets staggered, he can have 3 responses. One is the dash forward, in which means you still can stagger him, but you have to correct the angle of your shot. because he starts getting closer and closer. The other one is he immediately dashes to the side, and then you have to like try to find another headshot. It's just like that's the worst. But there is another one, which is what happened at the end. He just stays still for 2 seconds, and you have all the time in the world to just refresh the shot, and then you go and shot and shot and shot, and nothing else happens. Oh, what am I doing? Talk to the guy, trigger the cutscene. Skip the cutscene. And let's go for Calamine. There is still one fight that's a bit messy, which is ceaseless. I forgot. I was worried about ceaseless until I get there. But most of the other places, I'm just gonna be just fine. Oh, I think there's not gonna be enough health for us yourself. When I use the ring just in case. Yeah, I didn't take enough damage. Calamine has also a headshot hitbox, but it's not the head, it's like the freaking eye. Ugh, he moves it so much. Dang it, dang it. So if you can get a shot in the eye, you go for the shot in the eye. He also can do an AI loop like this. Too bad he didn't keep going. Oh, what? Okay. So because of the composite bow drops off damage a lot when you go far away, you still want to fight in melee range. Oh, now he's gonna fly up. I got greedy. Wait, this might still work. Yes, it worked. I got so greedy. Whoops. Oh, I need to drop that thing. I completely forgot. Wait, I gotta do it now because I know I'm just gonna mess it up. Like when I get the tail, I have to get rid of it. I just that is that the 4th fight in which they survive with like no HP whatsoever. I think it's just like the 4th time it happens. I did that once. I did that once. I plunged with the bow and it just didn't work all that well. On PV pace as well. That was also lovely. So this is another fight in which having less shots is just better because of the cycles on ceaseless can be really slow. You have to wait for the slam because you don't have enough time to do another attack and so on. So here we're gonna use tumble buff. Wait a second, why am I doing less damage? Why am I? That was less. That was one shot more than than usual. Absolutely reliable RTSR setup. Oh god, maggots are scary. So we don't want to plunge with the sword. We're just gonna do it with a punch. Oh yeah, I think I was using the wrong arrows. I've been using the wrong arrows for a while, isn't it? I got the seems like I've been using them for a while. Yeah, it does take a bit, and I do lose time because I have to mark that bonfire as well. But killing fire stage without a TSR is so goddamn slow that I still save time doing all of this. I usually run out of the normal arrows at this point, so I think that's why I messed it up. This is also completely normal, it's in the manual. Because you didn't go through the fog gate, most bosses have their AI activation at the fog gate itself, or really close to it. So standing there. I'm not sorry about this. This is not a fun fight with the bow. It's not bad, it's just boring. I don't even feel sorry about it. And Centipede. Centipede is a mess. I hate this fight. The major problem with Centipede is that I'm gonna try to cut the arm so I get a bit of a window. A bit of a window to keep attacking, but he can still shoot me with the arm he no longer has. It's just really nice. I have to be careful, but oh, that's the worst attack I can get. This is way too early for this. What? Okay. Hacks, I say. Okay, this whole section I have to... Oops, I almost got into the lava at 60 FPS. The thing is, I get more damage with the lava at 60 FPS. I learned about that very recently, actually. And even if I disable, I still take slightly more damage than vanilla. So I'm just avoiding the lava for a bit, so I don't get killed in the middle of the final run. That should be enough lava avoidance. I can just run straight to it now. Of course, why would I have that insane ultra bright lava? I just like, if I have options, sensible options. Molded lava is the best. Now you're wondering why I'm not healing, it's just because there is no point. Everything here could one-shot me, like the Darter of Isolate that is at the beginning. If Bed of Chaos does anything, I get one-shot, so there is literally no point healing. Doesn't really do anything. You only survive the fire pillars if you have... Well, with this amount of resistances, because my level is so high, I think something like 18 HP should be enough. If not, 21 should also be enough. 21 with a Fab Ring, if I recall. I think it's just 18 with the Fab Ring. But the thing is that you need some extra health. But I have almost base health. I have 12. But there is no really much need for anything. And that's trying to be smart about it. This part is just not very fast. I don't know why. I think it's also in the manual about advanced techniques. I think they wanted to put this just for suspense on the way to Bed of Chaos, like dun 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 dun. Well, I don't know. It is just what it is. Oh damn! I was actually keeping splits on my side because I wanted to see how the rank was going, and I just messed up like the last 5 splits or something like that. But it's completely normal. Look at the right leg. Look at that ankle. That's just how human beings work. Aha! No, you can get this on consoles though. It's just a lot easier with these things. But you can get it on consoles. It's just really annoying to do. Oh, come on. Why am I so twitchy with this? That should be fine. It wasn't. Dang it! Wait, no, that it needs to be slightly higher. There. Oh, ah, nice. The camera got like all messed up. I actually went to the side because I didn't know if I was going to be in time. The problem, and now I'm not in time for Bed of Chaos, so I might get the pillars. If I get the pillars, I have to quit out. Okay, we're fine. Take that. Haha. Okay, so what do I need here? Nothing really. Marking the bonfire. It's my own hand. She is allowed to use her hand as a weapon. Shut up. No one is complaining about she's using pants as well. It's not a bow. I'm not gonna switch to the bow to get rid of chaos because once I died like that. I switched to the bow and she did the pillar and I died and I didn't get the kill, so no. You cannot make me. Is this running volley? This is also just for time. It just saves the animation there. It's almost nothing. It also clears everything around though, so it is safer to do it at the same time. You don't have a skeleton that might block you here. These skeletons have to reassemble again. So it's both safer, even though there's not that much danger, and it's faster IGT. One roll and couldn't fall. I like how they slide so fancy. I need that. Okay, on Pinwheel you can actually die if you don't not paying attention. Mostly because you're staying still and they have magic attacks. I'm still using the wrong arrows? No, I'm not. Oh, nice shot. Now we take the pants off. I don't remember why though. Oh yeah, I need them for kings. Okay, the sword out because we need to do tumble buff on this one as well later on. Nice. Wait, isn't that? Doesn't that mess up my set? Oh yeah, whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Oops, too far right. We skip the fog gate. Saves like, I don't know, I think it's just 4 seconds, something like that. It's not that little, but it's not that much either. Just like to do it. Keep going. You can stop using those arrows too. Now run, run, run. Get into the fog. So for Nito, the problem is the screams. If I start shooting at the wrong time, he will land his shot before I get before I can regain control and roll. But the timing is extremely precise, so it doesn't happen very often, really. The other problem that's very real is that if he does 4 screams in a row, I'm gonna lose time dodging. I'm gonna lose way too much time dodging. And the hidden body will run out and the skeletons will rush me. And that, it's bad news. Let's hope I don't get that. Okay, so no screams so far, this is good. So here the buff does help, because that means I need less shots. That means I have a bit of a bigger window for these shenanigans. Okay, just 1 scream. No drama here whatsoever. Oh, come on! Second time try. I'm serious, I'm blaming the controller because it has a different analog stick. It just feels weird. It's not my fault. I need to get rid of this. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I always forget. I'm supposed to swap rings, not just remove it. Every time. So this should put me on RTSR. It does. All control. Oh wait, I don't need to keep this up. So for 4 kings, you can get 2 kings. There's a bit of trickiness between 4 kings and bows. When you attack 4 kings, there's 2 health bars. One is from the king itself. The other one is from the major boss, like the giant health bar that you see at the bottom. So when you attack, when you attack, you are damaging both, but you don't do the same damage. So if you attack from really far away, you barely do any damage to the king, but you do full damage to the health bar. So what I want to do is do as little damage as possible to the king. So I have to attack from really far away. I basically cannot miss a single arrow if I want this to work. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, the first one was fine, but the second one, he was already a bit too close. This might not work. Oh, nice. It's always nice. Yeah, I'm not sure this is gonna work. And now I have to run because the second king is gonna spawn. Ah, yeah, this is the problem. I'm too far. No! No, he's too close. I'm not gonna do enough damage. What are you doing? No, it's not gonna work. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work. I need to shoot 2 arrows from really far away, and I was just too close. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Oh well. It does save quite a bit of time, since the next king takes a while to appear. That was a bit unlucky. I had to just... Oh, I wasted too much time on the first one. So this is, you put this on the as a reference, and then you run the hell out of the opposite way. See, I just did 48 damage, and down there you can see the 500 and something. Oh, oops. Hello? There it goes. And that's all the bosses except the last boss. Going for Win. Win is another fight that's pretty cool on bow only because it's its own fight. You don't really see this anywhere else. Not reliably, at least. That's not how it works. The only problem with this, if you guys remember on Calamite, he was doing kind of like an AI loop. He was just dodging sideways. He did like 3 times. You can get that with Win, but the point in which you have to position yourself to get it is very precise. It is some room for mistake, but not much. So you need to be close enough so that you can keep attacking him before he resets his AI, but far enough that it gives him time to finish the jump so he does another jump after. So if you're too close, you're gonna attack too quick, and he will not trigger the next response because he's already doing it. If you're too far, you're gonna take too long in between attacks. He's gonna be already attacking you, and because of how slow the bow is, and since it roots you in place, you just die. There is no middle ground. You get it or you die. There is no way to dodge, there's no way to roll. You're gonna be locked into an animation by the time he reacts. So it's always, I always say that because it looks really stupid when you get hit. It's like, oh, why didn't you just dodge? It's just, well, I can't. When it doesn't work. And just put in the patch before the one. And we're getting ready for time as well. In case I kill Win, if I don't, then just another 2 minutes. So you need to parry him, move slightly backwards, and then start shooting. And pray! Nothing bad will happen. There we go. And we should do, it's bow only, so there you get a bow. At the very end. Thanks for watching. This was Dark Souls. Time. All bosses bow only. I hope you guys enjoyed.